Welcome to our presentation of what was meant to be an open house for the core area reconstruction project for phase one. Obviously, with open communication, we like to have as many open houses as we can. We've already had two to this point, and our intent, like I said, was to have an open house at the end of this month to go over construction and some of the frequently asked questions that property owners have. And so due to what we're dealing with COVID-19 right now, we thought that this would be a good supplement to an open house. And so thank you for taking the time to listen to what we have to say about the project. We have recently marked trees that will be removed within the corridor. We've also staked the right-of-way, which is the front property line of people's property. And so you can take a look at that. Obviously, we wanted to get that information out in front of property owners so that they can get a feel for what we're doing initially. And so those initial removals will begin next week. The contractor has been on site to take a look at what we've done. Tammy, the city engineer, who's sitting to my right here, has been out on site as well with our construction admin person that will be on site quite a bit. His name is Todd Mergen with HDR. My name is Paul Sano with HDR. I'm the project manager on the project. We've sent out numerous letters to the property owners with our contact information on it. Our contact information is also on the city's website, which we'll get to here in a little bit. But I wanted to run through a letter that we had sent to all of the adjacent property owners in phase one. This was sent out on March 17th. You may have gotten this in the mail. It was in a City of Brandon envelope. If you did not receive one of these, we would certainly want to make sure that, again, as much information or communication that we can get out to the property owners, we want to make sure that we can do that. So with that, I want to run through this real quick. We try to keep this to about 10 to 15 minutes if we can. And like I said, if there's any questions after we're done with this, we would certainly want property owners or anybody in the public to reach out to us to ask questions in regard to this project. So phase one is sitting behind us here with this project is encompassing from Sioux Boulevard to roughly Brandon Elementary School from west to east, and then from Holly Boulevard south to Dogwood Street. A big picture of the project is utility and surfacing replacement, and with that we will start with removals of the surfacing. What that creates in the phase 1A area to start with is some access to your home will be an issue for all the property owners in that area to be able to access via vehicle. We will have barricades closing at the end of the construction day, and we highly recommend that property owners don't access with a vehicle during the construction day. And I've mentioned this to several property owners that have asked. We know that this is a major inconvenience for access to your home, and we want to do whatever we can to provide access as easy as we can, especially those with mobility issues, which we have spoken with several property owners in this area. And we again recommend, if you can, to reach out to myself or to Tammy and let us know of those issues or concerns that you have that we can try to address in somewhat of a timely manner. And walking through people's yards on a lot of projects that we've had, we know that the most that people can do for allowing property owners to walk through your yard, that certainly helps. And if there are areas that you see due to that travel back and forth, we want to make sure that we reseed and regrade your yard as much as we can, or make sure that we're restoring those areas where people are walking at the end of the project. A lot of property owners have asked in general terms for what we do with mail and garbage and services that you would see on a weekly or day-to-day basis. And what I would encourage you to do there is just to get a hold of your garbage hauler and let them know that you're in this construction area. We anticipate each phase to last roughly 2 to 3 months. And so as the phases move forward, we'll certainly want to update property owners on that and what to do with their garbage. But garbage haulers are generally used to these types of residential projects. They've done them or been a part of them in the past. So they should be able to provide some information to you. Temporary mailbox location, that was in the newspaper as well, but it's here on this exhibit. That is at Elm and 3rd Street, directly south of Brandon Elementary. I believe it's in place currently, isn't it, Tammy? Is it in place right now?
You know what? I don't even know.
Okay,
I would assume they're working on it if it's not in place right now.
Okay, we'll check with that. But that is where the mailboxes will be in place relatively short manner here. The property or the contractor plans on removing mailboxes early next week. So that's where you can pick up your mail. Do you want to talk about emergency services?
Sure. Throughout planning this project, we have been in close contact and coordination with the Brandon Police Department as well as the Fire Department. And just like any construction project that goes on in Brandon, as construction continues through, we make sure to send emails and to keep everybody updated so that if there is an emergency within this construction zone, that they are able to access everyone in a timely manner.
Yeah, that's good. That's obviously a concern of a lot of property owners, and so keeping them up to date or up to speed on where we're at with the project is super important. Again, if you have any questions on that, you can contact Brandon City Hall and or watch for updates on the city's website. Let's talk about the typical section, if we could switch to that. So this is a typical section of the surfacing and the utilities that are planning on being installed. It's a pretty general or standard project in a residential area, sanitary sewer being the first utility that we would install, and then progressing with water and water main. And then in this area we are also proposing drainage easements with the addition of storm sewer. So those are the utilities that we're proposing. You'll see new fire hydrants and new inlets. Those would probably be the primary things that you would see on the surface. And then with the addition of the new street, we'll have new curb and gutter and new asphalt, and also the addition of sidewalk. And so this is the section that we are proposing or installing. The one other thing that you will see in this area are new street lights, and those may not be in the same location. We have worked with Sioux Valley Electric to put those streetlights in what would be considered a standard location according to how they do it generally in new developments. They'll also be LED, so they'll be a little different color than what we're used to. It won't be the orange, it'll be more of a white light, and that is standard as well in new developments.
And a lot of those posts will also change. A lot of the ones in the core area are wood, and we're going to be changing those and updating those to the current standard.
Which is aluminum, correct?
Right,
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so one other thing I would like to mention that may not have been as clear, we've had some questions about irrigation sprinkler systems that potentially will be affected with the removals. We would like to have property owners contact their irrigation contractor and have them come out, and where our right-of-way stakes are would be a pretty good location to cut and cap those irrigation systems, and just let the city know, let Tammy know that is part of something in your yard that you would like to make sure that we are taking into consideration, and would suggest doing that right away next week. Landscaping that is in the right-of-way, so the right-of-way stakes that we have put out on the project. If you have any questions about that, please contact us. Again, we'll come out, we'll meet with you and discuss where your property line is. Landscaping that is within the right-of-way will be removed by our contractor prior to construction, unless you as a property owner would like to keep it. That would be an option that you have. Again, we just recommend that that gets removed very soon, probably next week.
In the next couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That landscaping would be also your responsibility, if it is in the right of way, to replace it back to where you would like to have that. Anything else you can think of? Okay, so we would like to switch to the website. Tammy, if you want to talk about that.
Yep, so at cityofbrandon.org/core area, we have a project website that is dedicated just to this project. And on this website, you'll see all the updates, so everything that's mailed out as far as updates and letters and information cards, you can find that here on the website. We do have an information card that you can fill out, and that just helps us if we're going to do email or whatnot. And you can also sign up for text alerts for this project, and then all you have to do is text core area, which is one word, to 33222.
And again, we want to stress that with the communication that we've had in regard to this project within the last 4 to 6 months, we've had a couple open houses. We've sent numerous letters to the adjacent property owners with the website and textedly. There is a lot of information out there that is at your fingertips. And so, again, if there's something that we can do during construction to alleviate any inconvenience as much as we possibly can, we have a project that we have to do, and we know again that there's a lot of inconvenience with removing the street, but we try to minimize that as much as we can. I think that's it. Did you want to introduce your friend? Bob.
Bob the Barrel. He's probably going to be on site quite often this summer. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us in this, and bear with us as we get through this construction season.